Let's go! Welcome to the show. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause it's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Let's get a topic straight. Let's get things good. Let's do everything that we should. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's Project Open Mic. Let's get the show off right. It's Project Open Mic. Let's have a good show tonight. Alright, what is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing all well and good for tonight as we are headed into Christmas. Hope you all doing well and good, and everybody is hanging in there. Hope your shopping season is merry. Hope that you do have money to do some shopping to give gifts. But if you can't give gifts, you understand what the reason for the season is all about. So that is what we're gonna be talking about a little bit tonight. So give me a little second here. Let me put my beautiful, lovely mug on the screen. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Nah, but hope you guys are doing well. So tonight's show is basically called the 12 days of Biden. Just for a little bit of there, we're going not to have just to let everybody know, we're not gonna have tomorrow, of course, Christmas Eve, and you know, there's no side chat, so I might do a little chatting up again with you guys. So again, I want to thank everybody out there, whatever platform you're on. Okay, remember, subscribe, share, like, thumbs up, hit the notification bell, everything it is. Cause so shout out to everybody who joined in tonight, which is on YouTube, Facebook, Tempo FM, Live Now, Twitch, Rumble, Locals, and it goes on and on. And we're going to keep on adding more and more people, of course. So I do want to thank everybody for giving me your time, your mind, your eyes, your ears, and listening to what I have to say on this humble show of Project Open Mic, of course. So thank you guys for that. Tonight we're just going to, I want to talk about like what the podcast has said, of course. But I also want to, I don't want to go super heavy. Even though I named it why I named it, I don't want to go super heavy into the, you know, into the shows that I have, of course. But I still want to do something to have fun in tonight's show. And then next week might be unique, but we'll see how that works out. That's for sure. And I do want to talk about, maybe going to say, since I did a prediction show last year about since I did a show last year about what would it be to Joe Biden and predicted what it is. Well, surprise enough, this basically is just a combination of what I said, and I might do a little prediction next show before we turn over to 2022. But before we do that, let's enjoy the last bits of 2021. Now, we are at the point now where the craziness has hit the fan, and you're gonna see some new stuff coming from me. Well, I ain't gonna say new stuff, but I have talked to my girlfriend about this, my aunt. I talked about a story that I just said today, and I'm like, man, I'm not saying we're doomed, but I'm just saying, man, you really gotta be careful what you put these kids through. Sorry about that. Kids through in school and everything. Now, for me, this year, I am most gracefully and humbly happy that like I said, I'm gonna share Christmas with family and friends. Just recently, and I do mean recently. My cousin had herself a new baby. This is her fourth child, and she looks healthy. So, gonna be chilling with the new baby over Christmas. Also gonna be chilling with family and friends, my friends, family and friends, just to hang around a lot of things. Enjoy what's going out there. So I hope you all do the exact same thing. And again, I want y'all to be safe. I want y'all to be joyous in what y'all doing out there. So yes, it's a little tougher now because of inflation. That is true. It snuck up and it is hurting a lot of people right now. And it is really, really, being a down on many things. So I don't want to, as the old people to say, enough of the old waffling. Let's get into why we call it the 12 days of the 12 days of Biden. Now, before I get into something, I do want to bring something up as well too. And what I want to bring up is this. Yes, again, you know how I always say it. Speak to your physician. Go to your doctor so you can get the best advice for you. Okay? I am not a doctor. Never said I was a doctor, but go and do that. But everybody is, I am literally going to be traveling myself. So for me, I gotta say, I'm gonna be taking a little look at the whole what's going on with the the Omicron variant and everything. Now, like I've stated before, and I look at the CDC, even Fauci has said this, and this is so weird. They said it, but still want to play that dumb game, which that's the part I don't like. And it's annoying. But still want to play that dumb game. But I do want to say we have the variant. It's not as bad as Delta, not as bad as the original. Not many people are dying from this. You are getting hospitalized Okay, but the deaths are nowhere close to it. So that's one of the things that it is that we need to understand. Now, again, this is winter time where most people in North America, there's less sunlight, there's less vitamin D sharing, there's a lot of things going on, and we do not have the sufficient, health of which I will get into a show about. I need to do that video. I need to do that video for a show about what's going on with the variant that's going on right now. But not many people are dying from it. But the thing that annoys me is, like, let me help you out again. With a death rate less than 0.2%. One. Also, with the Omicron variant itself, it has way less than it needs to be. You have people like Jim Cramer. You have people like like Jim Cramer. You have Elizabeth Warren, which we just found out. You have Cory Booker. You have a lot of people who said that this wasn't going to happen. They got all the vaccination. They have all their vaccination. They have all their booster shots, all that stuff, and they still got the virus and still spreading the virus. So I don't get the whole talk of, oh, this is the worst thing from since coming out. This is crazy. This is nonsense. Okay. So I'm not even going to pretend this, but remember, they've got all the booster shots, all the vaccine, and they still caught it, and it's still spreading the disease. So, hey, if you, and I'm a person to say this, if you want to get your vaccination, go ahead and get it. I'm not against that. A lot of people say, oh, these people are anti. I'm not an anti-person who want to get vaccinated. That's never been my point. Never said my point. I always say check your doctors. But I will say that it's not the government's point to do up all this stuff. Let anybody do it. If you want to get the vaccine, go right ahead. I support you. If you don't want to get it, you don't want to get it. People are like, oh, well, that's stupid. Yes, majority of people, looking at the numbers that Dr. Fauci has said and everything, majority of people gotten the vaccine and is still getting their booster shots. That's all right. They're getting it. So herd immunity will take over from that point. Yet Joe Biden wants 98% of people to be vaccinated. Statistically, that's not going to happen. But you got, like I said, last time what Fauci was saying was 77% of people being vaccinated. So that's a good amount of number. We go with that. So that's all I'm going to point out. So with that said, let's head on over to 12 days. Now again, in my last show, I showed you guys my predictions. I showed you what was going to happen when Joe Biden take over. Again, I did a show about this is going to happen, and as somebody in May, I said, please prove me wrong, and they didn't prove me wrong. Everything that I said in that show came true. Just because this happened. I want to play a clip if I could find that clip. Let me see if I could find that clip for a person who asked me a question a while ago. Because a lot of people didn't know that he ran 3 times. He ran 3 times. He ran the first time, which I'm going to play a clip from that. I forgot what year he did, back in the 80s. Then he ran, of course, he lost out to Obama and everything, but became his vice president. Good for him, okay. Then he ran for the 3rd time. Now, everybody wanted to get rid of the last President Trump because of all kind of craziness. Hey, whatever. You vote for, you vote for. I never tell anybody who to vote for. That's not my thing. Again, I'm a libertarian. You vote who you want to vote for. Because people can change. So I never chastise anybody like that. When it comes to policies, yeah, there's way more cons than pros. I will give my point to that. But I want to play a clip of, let me see if this is the clip here.
Biden have more explaining to do. The new question stems.
Yep, this is the clip. So this is when Biden first run. And this is when the news media was a little less, how should I say this? Full of crap. This is where it was less full of crap. So let's listen to when Biden first run and the media did its job and not, try to play that, that favoritism, of course. And again, my thing is, again, if you are, I said it before back in the previous project over mics. Yes, if this is going to happen, we need to, if we know after Obama, this is going to be for Trump. Okay, my thing is always keep the same damn energy. Don't just lack off. Don't be attack dogs for one team and whatever. Both parties are, as we usually say,
you piece of loser.
Both parties are that, and they need, and both of them needs the same amount of attention, because we don't need the slackness to happen. Okay, all right. So let's play this little clip of Biden, and then we're going to go into 12 days of Biden.
We have more explaining to do. The new question stemmed from taped remarks of Biden during an April campaign appearance in New Hampshire.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and, in fact, ended up in the top half of my class. I was the
I remember, this is when he has a good memory. This is when he don't look like he's a little weak in the knees. Just remember that. This is the first time he ran.
Student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
And I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
Joe Biden was victimized by the truth.
Bye-bye Biden. He may not know it yet, but I think this is going to be very difficult for him to recover.
Is Joe Biden dead meat, yes or no?
I think so.
Bob?
Terminal condition.
Terminal? Eleanor?
Yes, unless he comes in third in Iowa.
More time.
Dying.
I say dead.
Sorry. Oh, God, you water. Oh. Whew. You hear what the guy said? The truth was his undoing. Wow. And that's the first time he ran. I know it was some of those stuff was so superficial, but that's where my that, and also the whole point of, he said, if I don't vote for him, I'm not black, which is, I'm like, well, I'm a white man in black skin because I didn't vote for you. Sorry. That is crazy that you would say that to people, but he didn't care. He did not care at all. That was funny though. So I'll play that clip for that person. Hopefully the person got it. That's the first time he ran. So let's. Oh my God, that's horrible. Oh my God. So let's go.
To take an inventory of the year that was.
Please
so in
do.
honor of the holiday season, let's take stock of the first year of the reign of Biden, Schumer, and Pelosi. In fact, in the spirit of the season, I'm going to call this recitation the 12 Biden blunders of Christmas. The first blunder that Joe Biden gave to us is a free big government socialist agenda, otherwise known as the Democrats' Build Back Better plan, designed to pass with no support from, or frankly, really input from any of these pesky Republicans.
Well, they have the majority. This is your Senate, and they have this. They have the Congress, they have the Senate, and they have the White House. So why not? Now the Build Back Better plan is already, to me, sorry, I've looked into majority of it. Yet I went through all 50,000 pages, and nobody went through no damn 50,000 pages as well too. But majority of the stuff that comes through the bill is basically garbage. All right. Because I like how Biden keep on saying over and over again, it's going to cost nothing. It's going to cost nothing. How can you, but you're going to cost nothing, but you're going to spend $1.9 trillion. That's how it's going to be, huh? I don't think so. Because we know what all that's going to come to when it comes to us. Oh, excuse me. So, let's continue.
Time and time again, Joe Biden and his Democratic toy makers have parroted the claim that their big government socialist agenda costs zero. Zero, can you imagine? Any of these pesky Republicans. Time and time again, Joe Biden and his Democratic toy makers have parroted the claim that their big government socialist agenda costs zero. Zero, can you imagine? A piece of legislation designed to give away trillions of dollars but doesn't cost anything. But perhaps they have some elf dust that makes it possible. Obviously, this isn't true. Analysis by non-government, nonpartisan groups, including Penn-Wharton Model and the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, did an analysis and concluded that the cost was much, much higher, like just under $5 trillion. A recent thorough analysis based on the history and the traditions of Congress and spending by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office agrees.
And we already don't spend already in 1 year. We literally already spend close to $6 trillion. So we're going to go over that. We are at $29 trillion, all right, in debt overall. Now, I'll say anybody out there, I didn't want, also when the last president, President Trump, did his give the money thing, I didn't want that either. I know a lot of people else want it, but I didn't, because I know what's going to come out of it. It's going to be the start of inflation. It's going to be the start of people just like, oh, we're getting free money, let's get more of it. So I was against it under Trump, and I was definitely against it under Biden because that's what he wanted to do. Because I remember when he said, oh, I have a cure for, I'm going to stop COVID, I'm going to stop this, but which again, just, you're going to live with it. You're not going to stop it. You're going to live with it. I wish people just move on and just say, okay, we're going to live with it. Protect yourself. Wear your gloves. Wear your mask. Get your vaccine. Do what you want. But you're not getting rid of the virus. Again, we still have bubonic plague. We still have the black plague. Again, San Francisco. Go there. There's recent cases of black plague in San Francisco. And we're going to get rid of this? That's already done atomized in airborne? Nah, not happening. But that's what our biggest problem is right now. Our debt is our problem.
The Washington Post fact checker even gave Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen 2 Pinocchios when she repeated the same bogus claim that this bill would cost nothing. The second blunder Joe Biden gave.
That's the part that puzzles me. How the heck can it cost nothing? You giving away money. How?
To us is hiding from media reporters and not taking questions. It's kind of unbelievable to me. It's hard to imagine that the leader of the freest country in the world, in fact, the leader of the free world, is afraid to take questions from the fourth estate, or that his staffs are afraid of what might come out of his mouth. Mr. President, freedom of the press is enshrined in the First Amendment of our Constitution on purpose. Yet on David Axelrod's podcast, the White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki actually admitted out loud, quote, a lot of times we say, don't take questions.
And if you want to give me a second here to prove that lovely point, see here. Okay, yeah, to see that lovely point, let me even prove it. Let me see right here. Let me prove it here with there's a boy here. Of course, we're gonna have to get through the usual stuff.
Here soon with some new toys, and it's all thanks to Joe Biden.
As the New York Times said today, Christmas gifts are arriving on time this year. Good news, we've saved Christmas, and that is because President Biden recognized this challenge early, acted as an honest broker to bring key stakeholders together.
What? What the fuck?
He acted early, and what now? Oh my goodness.
And focused on addressing practical problems across the global supply chain.
So Joe Biden...
There's still a supply chain problem. What are you talking about?
Biden saved Christmas, huh? Actually, the supply chain is still having major issues. And the only reason that things are getting on store shelves is because of private industry's innovations.
Which I talked about the whole Amazon thing a couple weeks back ago. What they're doing, which again, if you have enough money, you could do that. You could and privatize certain things, but I keep on going.
Not the government.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
So old Joe thinks that him and the government saved Christmas, and in his mental state, I'm sure that he's looking forward to Santa coming this weekend and bringing him some new crossword puzzles to work on.
You're wrong, Mark.
Someone who is trying to ruin Christmas, however, again, is Dr. Fauci, who just announced that people should disinvite their unvaccinated relatives.
But the vaccinated people still spread the disease.
And make them stay at home and eat a microwave dinner by themselves instead.
If someone in your family isn't vaccinated, should you ask them not to show up?
No. Have a conversation with them. But again, even if you are vaccinated, you still spread the disease.
Yes, I would do that. I mean, I think we're dealing with a serious enough situation right now that if there's an unvaccinated person, I would say, I'm very sorry, but not this time.
If you think that's excessive, meet Dr. Denise DeWald, a Twitter doctor, and another wannabe Sanjay Gupta, who tweeted, quote, "The only surefire strategy to avoid getting infected is to not meet up with other people. Give the virus no opportunity. If you must mingle with other people, wear a tight-fitting mask, preferable an N95 or better, and don't take it off inside, even when alone." I know.
You know what? Go ahead with that. That's not my gripe. That's not my gripe at all. You go ahead and do that. I do like this part right here.
However, maskless, of course. He flew down to CNN's headquarters in Atlanta to celebrate with all the producers and the writers who make his show possible. And despite Atlanta being...
And what Mark is going to say always killed me. Remember, all these people say, we got to help black people do this stuff, and I ain't got no problem against that. Just stop being heretics. That's my problem.
Over 50% black, they don't allow a single one to work on his show. He also hasn't responded to questions about why his card features a picture of the Fox News Christmas tree, the one that was outside of the Fox News headquarters in New York that some psycho burnt down. And I'm sure you heard on Tuesday, old Joe addressed the nation about Omicron, something that I'm not allowed to give my analysis on at this point. Otherwise, YouTube will take this video down for me committing a thought crime. I'll just have to wait until it's so obvious that they change the rules again, just like they did after it became obvious that the coronavirus leaked from the Wuhan lab. Let's not forget, until fairly recently, just saying that on any of the big tech platforms was a violation of their terms of service. But I'm not the only one that has to bite my tongue so I don't get into trouble. Poor Joe Biden himself isn't even supposed to be talking to the media at all.
To a child care tax credit. But I'm not supposed to be having this press conference.
And that's the point that the other video was talking about.
The media in the United States is not supposed to be the mouthpiece of the government or its leaders.
Nope.
Transparency is essential in our exceptional self-governed system. Now, I'm not the President of the United States, but reporters who work in the halls of this temple of liberty, and of course, reporters back home in North Dakota know I'm always willing to engage. I don't hide from my votes or explanations for them. I'm not scripted to the point of resigning my own thoughts or opinions, or even mistakes and decisions. No, North Dakotans elected me, not my staff. And Americans elected Joe Biden, not his staff, not some buffer of bureaucracy. He has the responsibility to be accessible, and the media has the responsibility to demand it of him. But the slippery slope doesn't end here. Now, the third blunder Joe Biden gave to us is the White House deciding what is, quote, misinformation. In a news conference, Jen Psaki said, we're flagging, imagine this now, this is the White House spokesperson, we're flagging problematic posts for Facebook that spread disinformation. We're working with doctors and medical experts who are popular with their audience, with accurate information. So we're helping get trusted content out there. That's frightening language coming from a spokesperson for the president. It sounds an awful lot like the United States government colluding with the media to decide what, in fact, counts as fact. In fact, reading between the lines on this one, it seems the White House is playing the ultimate arbiter of truth. Mm-hmm. And if this seems a little Orwellian, well,
it is.
It is. It is.
It is.
And while it's easy to see why Ms. Psaki might conclude, and frankly other Democrats, that they, in fact, control a state media, the fact is they don't. Give the American people some credit here. They're smarter than being spoon-fed information from the West Wing through their elfin folk at Facebook. The fourth blunder Joe Biden gave to
I give Americans ingenuity, right? You guys can come up with some stuff. You guys are outthinkers. You guys are independent thinkers as well, too. But the majority of people, that's my phrase at the end of the show. People are stupid, individuals smart. And like I said, 2022, we're gonna see some of that stupidity just goes a little more crazier. And that's what I said. I've done a show about a couple of videos I see today, but I'm not doing that. I'm just bringing it back a little bit lighter now than usual.
To us is raging inflation from pumping trillions of free dollars into the economy.
Oh, that's a bad
idea. We
idea.
all saw the writing on the wall when Democrats and the Biden administration pushed for $2 trillion in, quote, COVID relief in March, just 3 months removed from the bipartisan $900 billion relief bill. This was a total partisan, reckless $2 trillion. It came at a time when there was obvious economic recovery coming out of the pandemic. And now Democrats want to spend nearly $5 trillion on their Build Back Broke plan. To put these massive numbers in perspective, the sum of these two bills, just these two bills, is more than the United States government spent fighting World War II. In 2019 dollars, the United States spent $4.69 trillion over the course of just under 4 years to fight and defeat Nazi Germany and the Axis powers. Liberal and left-of-center economists, including Larry Summers and Jason Furman, sounded warning bells early this year. But Democrats forged ahead, sending inflation to levels not seen in nearly 40 years.
And don't forget what I played at the show last week, the last episode, when they were talking about, it's transitory. It's all transitory. And then, of course, the Fed came out and said, yeah, we gotta retire that word transitory. And even Yellen Lee said that too. So they know this is not transitory. This is the real deal. Inflation has hit crazy numbers. And for people who are doing Christmas right now, that kind of sucks because not really a lot of your devices and stuff right now, that's on the back end. Again, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're trying to get yourself a graphics card, oh, hell yeah, you're spending some money. Which I am not spending the money at all. Graphics card that used to cost $400 costs $2,000. Nah, homie, you could keep that. But majority of what's hurt the people the most is like the food. Eggs has gone up. Bacon has gone up. Like I said, one of my favorite bacons I used to get from Sam's Club. It used to be $15 because quality bacon. Now it's $30, doubled. No, I'm not paying $30 for bacon. I love it, but I'm not paying that much money for bacon at all. Okay, that's ridiculous.
Insist that inflation is transitory, but Americans know better. Americans paying more and more for everything with each passing
gas.
year know this is more than
Can't forget about gas.
inflation. The fifth blunder Joe Biden's cabinet gave to us is Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' assessment of the southern border crisis. Remember the
was
hordes
crazy.
of illegal immigrants camping out under the bridge in Del Rio, Texas?
But they went after the last president, because they said it was inhumane that he put people behind cages, which come to find out the cages was on the Obama and Biden. But I digress. But still, you put them on the bridges. Which one's worse?
Don't worry, Secretary Mayorkas said as he lowballed the numbers, citing approximately, I think, it's about $10,000 or 10,000 or so, 12,000. It could be even higher. Actually, conservative estimates have the tally upwards of 15,000 people. And while we're talking about the crisis at the southern border, it's important to note Joe Biden has made multiple claims that he's visited the border. But guess what?
He's not.
You don't know what you're...
You know what's also that killed me about that as well too is that, again, we let people come in, but you're talking about
The
this.
Washington Post fact check.
You're talking about it don't make sense to me. It never made sense to me. So we gotta mask up. We gotta get a booster shots. Remember I told you a video when the White House explained, when was it, 2-3 months ago? People who are opt out from getting the mandatory shots were White House, the White House staff and Senate and Congress staff, and illegals. But wait, don't you think if we're trying to stop this thing, you don't want people who you don't know where they've been, who don't have a shirt to the name to not bring the disease over? And again, I'm an immigrant myself, but I did it the right way, so sorry. It does not make no logical sense.
Checker wrote, quote, "We cannot find evidence that Biden at one point made a visit to the southern border in his many decades of public office." It's as though he thinks if he says it, somehow that makes it true. The problem is lying doesn't make the lie true. I've been to the border, most recently about 6 weeks ago, and I can tell you it's bad, and I can tell you it's a crisis. Our Customs and Border Patrol agents are completely overwhelmed. I went on a ride-along and an aerial tour of the Rio Grande Valley and visited the Donna processing facility where families and unaccompanied minors are processed. If there's any takeaway from seeing this firsthand, it's this. There's no way to adequately understand the magnitude of the problem or the severity of the crisis unless you see it with your own two eyes. And so I implore the President, who has held elected office nearly uninterrupted since 1973, please visit the southern border and acknowledge what is obvious to everybody else. This is a national crisis.
He's been in government since 1973. That itself just it astonishes me.
The sixth blunder Joe Biden gave to us is a new kind of border wall. Yeah, not the wall we need to secure the crisis on the southern border, which has seen record numbers as nearly 2 million people have attempted to enter the country illegally under Biden's watch. And by the way, this is just the number of illegal immigrants that have been apprehended by our CBP heroes. Now, that's more than twice the population of my home state. But according to Secretary Mayorkas, a border wall is an affront to, quote, get this, it's an affront to humanitarian relief.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
It's the same thing Nancy Pelosi used. It's the same thing that the Pope for the Vatican uses well too. Hey, Popey boy. So, again, this Christmas time, teach mass, teach all that stuff. But the Vatican has a wall. Pelosi, you have a wall. And of course, Joe Biden.
The ranchers and the innocent American citizens living and working near the border don't qualify for this humanitarian relief. And yet his agency secured and awarded a contract for nearly $500,000 taxpayer dollars to build and install a fence around Joe Biden's home in Delaware.
Oh, no. Of course. Of course. Am I shocked? No.
What kind of humanitarian relief does Joe Biden's beach mansion need, Mr. President? The seventh blunder Joe Biden gave to us is our $450,000 settlements for illegal immigrants, just for being illegal. The Wall Street Journal was the first to report this absurd plan. While North Dakota families and businesses are struggling with inflation and skyrocketing costs on everything because of Joe Biden's spending policies, his administration wants to hand out hundreds of thousands of dollars to illegal immigrants. In comparison to the $450,000 proposed payout for illegal border crossers, the United States government pays only $100,000 to the families of soldiers killed in service to our country, and people who are wrongly accused and incarcerated in federal prison are eligible for just $50,000. That's right, $100,000 if you die defending our freedom, but $450,000 if you violate our freedom. Now, when confronted about this, President Biden said this was not going to happen, but he was quickly corrected by his own White House and the Justice Department.
Yep.
The negotiations are ongoing, so we don't know what any final number will be. I've helped sponsor legislation and amendments to prevent this policy from ever being implemented.
Sure.
The last thing we need is another incentive for people to come to our country illegally.
And I tell what it is, again, makes it even worse for other people because, again, when women have to go up to those tracks and go through those stuff, they have to take birth control pills because they get raped. And everybody's like, and again, with the part where they talk about, oh, they're just trying to separate families, whatever. And again, I hate it when Biden did this. I hate it when, Obama did this because he did it on, that's where the cages and stuff came from on the President Obama. And he likes to say, oh, Trump did it. No, you did it. Stop lying. But I want to talk about that. Be honest. Again, I forgot the company's the foundation. But dang it, without having the company's name, it will sound wrong to say that. Say this. Amnesty International, there you go, said 66% of the people who got caught coming over the border, they're not their biological, they're not their blood relative. And again, some of these kids become pack mules for drugs, and some of these kids become slaves, sex slaves, which is not good. But because we want to play this stupid game, these kids are suffering horribly because of this. So we don't need to give them more incentive to do that because the drug gangs know what they're going to do. Hey, the coyotes are saying, okay, we're going to give you this kid, to get this kid, whatever. There have been kids that I've played the videos of illegals who came over and said, yeah, that was not my kid, but they fell off of the boat or whatever, and they left the kid out there to drown or whatever, which is horrible. These drug guys don't care about the kid and stuff like that, so you're creating more of a problem, but what can I say?
The eighth blunder Joe Biden gave to us is private jet-setting climate apologist John Kerry's comments on coal.
Oh,
Kerry stated, and I quote, by 2030 in the United States, we won't have coal. We will not have coal plants. While a State Department spokesperson...
Well, that's a fragrant lie. Just like how Joe Biden said, oh, we're going to use oil in 2030. Yes, we are. We use oil for a lot of stuff. We use oil to make plastics. You can make plastics out of plant. Don't get me wrong. But it's not, we don't have that situation set up like that. And I do apologize. I'm drinking because I've been doing some work lately. Including today was where I worked at my 9-to-5 job doing architecture, whatever. My doing a lot of talking to clients and stuff. So my throat's a little hoarse. I'm trying to calm it down a little bit. This microphone I talk to, oil, mouse, oil. So much things use oil other than for cars. We're not going to get rid of that. And again, as I pointed out, we were energy independent before Joe Biden got in. Day one, he signed our independence away. And then you go ask OPEC, hey, OPEC, he gives a little oil like we crackheads. Come on, man. Give me a little bit of oil, man. I just want a few hits of oil. And that's why gas prices are what they are right now.
Walk back Kerry's statement, quote, noting the administration's plans still would allow coal, it's absurd on its face. Cutting off coal would shut down American innovation, kill all the progress we made on carbon capture technology, eliminate good-paying U.S. jobs, scrap grid reliability, and increase the cost of energy and everything that's produced that's dependent on the energy. Like we need more inflation, and cede energy dominance to foreign adversaries who have a total lack of environmental concern and standards. Canceling coal is merely a transfer of emissions guilt to other countries with dirtier energy production.
Yeah, because China has built more coal plants in the last 3 years. And again, I'm not saying get rid of it all. I said we need to step it down. But solar and wind is not the answer. If to be honest, it will be nuclear. But we've shut down 3 nuclear plants in the last 5 years. So because people have again, remember, you like Fukushima. Fukushima did not get messed up because of a nuclear problem. It got messed up because of the typhoons and the earthquake. Is a difference in that.
Than we have. The ninth blunder Joe Biden gave to us is moral authority and other gaffes from Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. Most notably, Secretary Granholm, while in North Dakota no less, said, quote, we don't have much moral authority to call out China when it comes to energy production and emissions. This is not just wrong, it's embarrassing. It's not just an intellectual mistake, it's an embarrassing gaffe. The stringent environmental and, I might add, labor standards of the United States are far superior to the lack of any of them in China. And I rest my case on the facts of the situation here. One, according to the BBC and several other agencies, but the BBC says China emits 27% of global emissions, and it's a rising percent because it's a rising number.
Just like I said, they have built more plants in the last 3 years.
While the United States is around 10% and a declining percent. Two, according to the EPA, total U.S. energy-related carbon emissions fell by 12% from 2005 to 2018, while the United States became the #1 energy producer in the world.
And we pissed it away when Joe Biden shut down the Keystone Pipeline and tell people don't drill on their federal lands. Oh, man.
In contrast, global energy-related carbon emissions increased nearly 24%. So the United States reduces 12, the globe increases 24%. This is significant by any standard and certainly qualifies us to be able to say we have moral authority over China when it comes to polluting and greenhouse gas emissions. In North Dakota, in fact, we're performing groundbreaking research and piloting innovative demonstration projects. We're in the process of adding carbon capture technology to facilities like the Milton R. Young and Coal Creek power generation stations. Furthermore, the United States has invested more in clean energy research, development, and deployment than the next 2 countries combined. We're a global leader in climate mitigation measures for new energy sources, carbon management, and efficiency. The radical and backwards energy policy of this administration ignores American exceptionalism and the real progress that we've made as a nation. The Chinese Communist Party, Russia, and other polluters have shown no real interest in doing so.
Why would they? They don't care. They're not gonna listen to no standards. Again, international law, people need to understand, international law is just as strong unless there's a war as like this sheet, like this cardboard thing right here. It doesn't mean nothing. It's just paper. It's just a paper. The Paris Climate Accord don't mean nothing at all. It means jack squat. It's just ink on paper to make you feel good. It doesn't do anything. India is going crazy with this stuff. China is still like he just stated, like I just stated with the plans. Russia, you think Russia cares about what's going on? Please. Colombia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, you think they care? No, they don't.
Yet Secretary Granholm and Joe Biden provide cover for them, along, of course, with John Kerry, even greenlighting their fossil fuel energy projects while they kill America's. The 10th blunder Joe Biden gave to us is a disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Oh, that was horrible.
There's a lot to unpack here.
And I will say this before he goes in it. Would it have been a problem with Trump? Yes. But not at this level. And I'm not saying that Trump is the reason difference. It's just that the way Joe Biden did it was just backass stupid.
Nothing about this topic is meant to be glib or sarcastic. This withdrawal was nothing short of a tragic disaster and an international embarrassment. We will continue searching for answers and accountability from the administration on this, but let's focus on the failed commitments from Joe Biden. He said his administration would get all Americans and our allies out of the country ahead of his arbitrary August 31st withdrawal deadline.
Yeah.
He also said the U.S. will stay in Afghanistan until all Americans who want to leave can do so.
And that didn't happen, did it now?
This is obviously not what happened. After the botched withdrawal, the administration listed numbers ranging from 85 people to 200 or maybe 400 Americans left in Afghanistan. The State Department, however, believes as many as 14,000 legal permanent U.S. residents remain in Afghanistan, according to a foreign policy press report. Whatever the number, Mr. President, the President went on national television and told the world this withdrawal was, quote, an extraordinary success. Mr. President, can you imagine being one of the people left behind and seeing your president on TV calling what he did an extraordinary success, saying that we got out successfully? It's abundantly...
Yeah, it's successful that people are hanging on the planes and falling to their deaths. That's successful? Okay. These changing of definitions is so weird.
Clear, there are significant numbers of U.S. citizens, residents, and important Afghan allies still stranded in the country, if in fact they're still alive at all. The 11th blunder Joe Biden gave to us is welcoming stiff competition with China. In October, Jen Psaki was asked about the Chinese Communist Party's hypersonic missile test, successfully circumventing the whole globe, which from reports indicate they're capable of delivering a nuclear warhead.
And don't forget, when they also did those tests to drop the booster stuff, it fell close to New York City and also in South Africa too. Huh, funny how that works. Like it feels like China's just like, yeah, we don't care. We're going to shoot our missiles no matter what you said. They weren't doing that again, love him or hate him, but the last president, China and Russia know that president was no push hard or just crazy enough to start something. So they didn't do it. They said they did it with Obama. When Obama was talking all that stuff, he's like, Russia didn't care. They think Obama was a joke. And of course we know that China was making deals with Biden behind everything. So we know how that worked out.
Her response, oh, we welcome stiff competition. Really?
No, you don't.
Really?
No, you don't.
Why would the White House welcome military competition from our peer adversary, Communist China? As a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, it's been a priority to ensure the U.S. military maintains a secure and effective deterrent, a nuclear deterrent. In order to do so, we need to modernize our nuclear triad. America's nuclear triad of missiles, submarines, and aircraft are 60-plus years old in many cases, and they're not the same strong deterrent that our adversaries that they once were. It's clear and concerning the Chinese Communist Party is prioritizing a nuclear buildup, and the White House seems comfortable with all of this.
I will say there might be some of them, not all of them, but some are very old. But the problem is we have still, as that age, we still have better technology than how China and Russia really has. And I like how people, because I remember when people was like, "Oh, we have China has a mock-up of a U.S. Aircraft carrier, and they're bombing it. Yes, and I did a video showing. The carrier does not go out there by itself. There's many frigates and battleships around the thing. It's not it's not like, oh, we just one big ship and going. No. There's no way you getting that close without getting shot out the daggone air. Or you're gonna be doing suicide bombs and stuff like kamikaze. That's where kamikaze was back in Pearl Harbor. It's not the ship out there by itself. It's multiple ships, frigates and battleships that surrounds the like whatever the Nitso class or the USS Gerald Ford or whatever, plus the planes. They don't have that power yet. They have manpower to do ground attacks against China. They have the people, 340 million people to 1.4 billion people. Big difference in numbers, and yes, but they having that super control of their people. I get that, but the technology is still not there yet.
The 12th blunder Joe Biden gave to us is the consistent confusion and alarm in regards to his own comments about Taiwan.
Yeah, that's messed up.
In October, Joe Biden told reporters, quote, "I've spoken with Xi Jinping about China, or about Taiwan. We agree. We will abide by the Taiwan agreement," he said. Of course, immediately alarm bells rang out, causing confusion and a lot of head scratching. You have to remember, we have a backdrop of Beijing ramping up military pressure on Taiwan, and Joe Biden can't properly articulate our nation's foreign policy posture. The lack of understanding on something as critical as China is dumbfounding. Taiwan is a strategic ally and important trading partner to the United States, especially given the increased risk China poses not only to the region, but to the world. If this was an isolated incident, it would be one thing. But this isn't the only time his comments on Taiwan had to be clarified. No. In a CNN town hall, Anderson Cooper interrupted the president to ask if Joe Biden was, quote, saying that the U.S. would come to Taiwan's defense if China attacked. Joe Biden promptly responded with, "Yes, we have a commitment." The White House resorted once again to walking back these comments in what seems to be a recurring occurrence at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And one Washington Post article wrote, quote, "Most analysts believe simply that Biden misspoke." Misspeaking is a kind way to dismiss the obvious lack of clear understanding of a critical foreign policy issue by our commander-in-chief.
Hell, you could go back to when they had the first meeting between Xi Jinping and our states back in when it was in Alaska, and those people was just nonchalantly rude to America. Okay, you have the right to do that, but my point saying is that they don't give a dang about. They think they know Joe Biden. They think Joe Biden is weak. That's why they did a lot of stuff on that situation. They know that. Now, of course, I'll say this. They also, the many things again that the most thing that's more important to people who are listening right now. Again, most of y'all are not Americans. Most of y'all are foreigners, like in Temporary FM and other stuff. But gas prices expensive. That hurts the lower middle class and the poor people. Food inflation. That hurts again the lower class, the middle class as well. But I'm just looking wrong. But it hits those pockets more because when they talk about, oh, more people are getting more money, have gotten more money. Okay, so what happened was we were getting a lot of people. Unemployment was down. The participation rate was high because let's be honest, the last 2 months, 4.3 million people from October to August left the job market. And a lot of people say, oh, that's great. They could go out and do that, all the stuff. If you got something to do to fill that market, yes. But if you're not doing nothing, then you're not working, then you want to go on welfare, you want to grab the money. So when it comes to the point that when it's mostly like
taxes, beautiful, lovely taxes.
Thanks for taking my money, asshole.
Basically, that's what it mostly ends up to be, which is not fun at all, at all. But that's how they do the things. You make a lot of money, and inflation hits people. I had a coworker. Of course, he don't follow stuff, but he's very opinionated. So I leave it at that, and I don't mess with him. But the coworker's like, taxes, inflation don't affect me. It does. It really does.
What?
You gotta pay higher food costs. You have to pay higher food costs. You have to pay higher taxes. You have to, even though you're on a lower end, you still it still goes up, dude. But you see, they don't think of it like that. They don't. And it's sad how I wish they teach general civics, general economy 101. Those should be classes that you should have just to graduate high school. Because again, not all people who go to high school are going to go to college. Hell, a lot of people who are rich never went to college in the first place. Some are dropouts from high school. You need to understand how to balance your book, no budget, compound interest, all the simple stuff, so you don't make crazy decisions like we did in the last show when people took out $200,000, $300,000 loans for jobs that only give you $60,000 a year. That doesn't make sense. That is a waste of time. So you're $2,000 in the hole, and you're barely making it, and you're living in some of these crazy cities. As I said again, like as I showed the video of that. I mean, if I have kids, I'm not telling. Like I said, I got out of college. I took student loan. Yes, a small loan, but I had me scholarships upon scholarships, and I worked my butt off. So when I came out of college, I didn't have no student debt at all. Now I'm the lucky few, but that's what I did. I didn't have no student debt at all. And if I have kids, I'm gonna tell her that if you're gonna go to college, get a STEM research degree that makes the money and makes sense to go to the college. But all these social studies kind of degrees ain't giving you nothing. Technically speaking, we need to get the government out of colleges, so because we already on $1.7 trillion in debt. And then of course everybody's like, oh, let's forgive the debt. No, I don't want to forgive it. You took the loan. Excuse me. You should pay the loan. I took my little loan and I paid it back in full. There's a lot of people out there who took the loan like $50,000, $60,000. My sister, $30,000. Girlfriend, $30,000. Like they took the loans and they gotta pay it off. And I know people who took the loans and paid it off. So, no. And I remember what a girl said in the last episode when she said, oh, I took $175,000. I can't pay it. But my plan is to wait 12 years and hopefully that it gets forgiven. Why you took the loan? And you're not even working in the field that you took the loan for. And then when asked the question, hindsight being 2020, would you do it? She said, she didn't say, oh, I will never take the loan. She said, if I know this was going to be, I'd take a bigger loan and go into an Ivy school. But the degree still would never get you the job. Go back to the past. Go back to watch episode 57 and see what I was talking about. It's ridiculous how some of these people come together. But I don't want to be just a willy-nilly in there. Before I go, I would love to hear some of you guys. We have 27,403 people in the building, unified across all the platforms. Thank you guys again for giving me your time and your mind. Let's go with a little bit of so just shout out to a couple people out there to talk about this. Hope Daniels from Washington D.C. What a sad but well presented summary of 2021. We the people cannot take another 3 years of this disaster of administration. Sandra Curtis from Florida. I love that more senators are speaking out against all the autocracy in this administration and how they try to get away with a lot of lies and pandering. That is true. Corvitia Beltran. Again, if I pronounce the name wrong, I apologize for that. Covitia Beltran, Germany. The Declaration of Independence has the answer everyone's looking for. Keep government out of everything. Well, for a German to say that, hey, thank you for saying that regard. Stephen Spohl from New York. I guess Senate Munchkin is no longer invited to the White House Christmas party. I get what you're saying. That is true. Johnny Deed from Kentucky. All right. If Joe wasn't such a POS, and he was cognitive, I would feel bad for him being abused as an elderly person. I think most people that this is a puppet being pulled by strings. Again, I can see it. Matthew Manning from LA, California. Imagine a meltdown by people that hate Christmas, mind you. If Conway told fake news that Trump saved Christmas. Oh yeah, because of what Jen Psaki said. Yes, you're correct. You're correct about that. You're correct about that. Karen Strugham from UK. Okay, I'll give that Twitter I'll give the Twitter doctor the props for conspiracy. Don't take it off, even when you're alone. I'm sure we all familiar with the fact that smell can linger in the air longer than the payload was flushed. That's true. I mean, yes, because Mythbusters did a thing about that. I'm more annoyed in the fact that other than South Africa, sorry. Ugh. So I do read ahead so I don't, if I see things that's kind of messed up. So let's see. Let's see. Well, an airborne virus particles are no different from the scent molecules. Just because you're alone in the bathroom doesn't mean that the ghosts of shitters past and their distant rival pathogens are not staying lingered in the space to enrich your experience. More annoying that the fact that no one other than the South Africans and some commentators on YouTube like you seem to comment that apparently radical decrease in severity of the Omicron variant. You did show a video that Dr. Fauci talked about the variant being not as strong as before and less death. But Dr. Fauci did not want to give up his power. It's too soon to tell. They say all the time. Actually, it's not. Also, I would like to take Dr. McCullin's podcast with Joe Rogan to provide possible explanation as why Biden is consistently hacking up a lung. Oh yeah, he does do a lot of he still does that crazily. Now mine is because my throat's been itchy, but he does do that. So thank you for the comment, Karen. Of course, I have many people here saying Merry Christmas. And again, if you are Jewish content, Happy Hanukkah. If you for the few who do Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa. I'm not against all that stuff. Wish have that. But it's Christmas. Saturday is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to all. I hope everybody having a wonderful time, of course. Say Philip Capshaw from New York. There's no way in hell this guy got 80 million votes. No way. We leave that alone because we know certain platforms like Facebook and YouTube, they ain't not feeling to this compared to the others. Jim Hendricks from UK. When Biden puts a quarter in the parking meter, he stands there to wait for the gumball to fall out. Okay, all right. With the sly jokes, people. Let's see. Elizabeth Soroli, Poland. Wouldn't it be amazing if one during a woman's BS statement, the entire press corps burst into laughter and publicly shame her? Jen Psaki is not good at a job. She just ain't. She's just a bad person at that job. That's all I could tell you. Ballyboon from France. I love how the circle back constantly tries to pretend Brandon takes questions on a regular basis. Let's go, Brandon. Okay. Pesto Quilili? Quigley. That's why I won't come up with that. Pesto Quigley from Poland. I trust Fauci with my family's safety as much as I would trust him with my puppy safety. Oh yeah, the dog experience that he used to do. Yep. That's I forgot about that, but yeah, that is true. Mercy Black from also UK. Even if the Brandon administration didn't exist, Christmas would have been fine. So exactly how did they save it? They're insane. Yeah, that is insane. Derek Powers from New York. The government would not only make fun of poor Rudolph, but also put him out of his misery. if you ever caught COVID. Wow, you guys are crazy right now with this stuff. Margot Maloney from Florida. Biden Save Christmas is a complete joke. Let's go, Brandon. Man, this is, you guys are going in. London Kiltman from Scotland. Oh, wow. Yeah. London Kiltman from Scotland. I'm glad we're living in I'm glad we're not living in a fairy tale, because the press secretary would be Pinocchio, and her nose would be so stretched 3 times longer than anybody in the world. That is true. That is true. Brian Brumney from Florida. Biden could wrap up his own present on Christmas and still be surprised the next morning. But on a serious note, I'm happy to see that you are pointing out a lot of the problems that we have right now, and we have to come together to make every small possibility of hope to be good. Merry Christmas to you and your gang on the Project Open Mic. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. We have Eddie Guadalajara from France. If my family uninvite me from the gathering, I would uninvite myself for all future gatherings. I can't imagine people doing that. Everybody don't drink the same Kool-Aid, even if you're blood relatives, man. And that's the sad part about that. That's the sad part about that. It's crazy. Shalair Donalds. First, I want to wish you and your people a Merry Christmas. But like you just put out with the 12 Days of Biden, much like the Grinch, he ruins Christmas, then takes credit for saving it. What a fool. Again, Merry Christmas to you and your family, Tig. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, my friend. Bobby Leon from London. Have a blessed Christmas. Your fruitful reporting is always phenomenal. And I will definitely be keeping more in touch next year to see what's going on, because you're a very informative person, and I like the aspect of what you're saying. My family loves... Okay. My family loves the way that you present some of your shows. You are very blessed, man, and I hope you stay blessed with your family. And Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat. Hey, awesome. Thank you. Jesse Sequat. Yeah, that's what it is. You see, the problem is when you see certain accents over certain things, I don't know what to if the hard, short, all this stuff. But anyway, Jesse Sequat from Germany. People need to also remember about Joe. People need to also remember with Joe Biden and Dr. Fauci that Fauci makes more than the president, which is a thing that puzzles the hell out of me. For how the heck a practicing person never did nothing, he gets that. I don't get that. That is the part that does bother me about that. Maxwell Smart from Poland. I love how you Americans found a clever way to say F Joe Biden. So I'm happy that we could use Let's Go Brandon to get rid of all this to get the point across. Yeah, that is that. And again, I'm seeing a lot more Merry Christmas is going in. Again, Merry Christmas to a lot of y'all, man. I truly I did a show the way I gotta do it. And then let's try my best to make it kind of fun if I can. I just want everybody out there to be safe and have a very good time. Like I said, I'm gonna be chilling, relaxing with families, and a new baby is born in my family to check that out, and I have a new relationship, so I'm going with to see her family and chill. It's just so much stuff. So yes, Christmas. Everybody in here. I mean, thank you guys for all the Christmas thank yous. And also, again, if you're on if you go to YouTube, subscribe. I know a lot of people I know human nature. We like to watch what we like to watch. But again, if you can, go to Twitch if you want to subscribe. Go to Rumble if you want to subscribe. Local, same thing. Twitch, Tempo FM, Facebook is not really that, but yeah, YouTube. Again, thumbs it up, thumbs it down, doesn't bother me. Leave comments, show more interaction with everything. Live.com as well too. As we're gonna say, we're gonna try keep on going further and further to find more stuff out there to help to do more thing, and hopefully I'm working very diligently to get the crew back together for 2022, so we could have more people other than hear my voice on there. Also trying to get a female perspectives again to be joining in that regard, of course. Not gonna say that Robert Anderson, that's wrong. It's funny, but I'm not gonna say that, because I'm not gonna do that. And everybody also doing a little Let's Go Brandon in there too. So like I said, we got up to 28,152 people. Look, again, and that's across all platforms. So again, I want to thank everybody out there for 2021 for hanging with me, and for the new subscribers, the new people who have joined on. We have gotten the biggest show I think we had is like close to 55,000 people. So listening to me live, which is it's unimaginary and good, but I can't say unimaginary to self. For any people you used to know, back in 2012 to 2015, I ran a radio show called Radio T3, a really syndicated radio show called Radio T3, and we used to have the highest we ever got was 9.4 million people listening in. So again, but for me doing this from the scratch, no support, no I won't say no supporters, but I mean no push from the big radio shows or any sponsors or nothing. This is all me taking time doing my research to talk about the stuff for you guys up there. So I want to thank you guys for giving me that stuff. So with all the Merry Christmas and stuff up here, guys, I'm just gonna I don't want to give a long show. I didn't really plan it to be, because I didn't want to be too much a lot of things. So for me, guys, I just want to have yourself like I said, thing on there. So let me check out a couple other spots, because like I said, I mostly look through the tempo chat, the live comment section. Let me see here. Shout out to those who comment on the Facebook, comment on the Twitch, and comment on the YouTube, which has been like a little bluster and everything up there. Thank y'all for getting the time. Again, if you need to get the vaccine, go ahead and get the vaccine. Talk to your doctor, see what is the best choice for you. My problem is I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I am an anti-mandatory person. You're telling me what the hell I gotta do, which is the dumb part that you keep on pushing, but they don't catch it. So look, go ahead and get the situation going in. If Sheila gets it, not really. January, he has not been. If you're talking about the president, has he been concerned about us? I think he does the best he can, but I do not think that he's running the show. I think somebody else is pulling the strings. Remember how Dick Cheney pulled the string behind Bush? I think that's the same thing happening. But the problem is, I don't believe it's Senator Harris. I mean, I said Vice President Harris. It's not. It's not at all. So somebody else is doing this thing, and it's not great. But with that said, again, hey people. On a serious note, I want to remember, evil comes in all shapes, sizes, color, creed, sex, height, gender. Evil's evil. I want to thank you guys out there from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for giving your time, your eyes, your mind, your ear. Because again, the time is the one I can't really give it up. But I want to thank you guys for doing that and listening to what I have to say. 2021 is basically almost in the bag. I wish anybody out there, those like last week who got messed up with the tornadoes, I pray that you guys get through that. I also donated a little bit of money to help people out there in that situation, because I feel bad for them. And then, of course, I couldn't pull up the money as like I pulled up in hurricanes with the $1 million. So, but again, I wish you all the best in that. It's for those who are gonna get some cold and a white Christmas. I hope you enjoyed it. That's what you wanted. And just go, relax, chill, and enjoy your family. This is Christmas time. The reason for the season is family, and of course the birth of Jesus Christ. If that's something that we need to understand, what this kid did and sacrificed for us from death to Easter, of course. But with that said, again, I wish every single person out there from the T3 crew a very, very Merry Christmas. Hope that you get all the Christmas gift that Santa is giving you. So, right now, I just want to thank you guys for giving it. And remember, people are stupid, individuals are smart. Be that smart individual. All right? Take it easy and enjoy it. All right? Merry Christmas again, and have a good night. Peace out.